And welcome to your Daily Five. This is Mary Ellen McGonagle, founder of MEM Investment Research. And for those not familiar, I do have quite a bit of experience on and with Wall Street, but I do like to point out my years at William O'Neill and Company for 15 years. He was the founder of Investors Business Daily. The reason I point that out is it has everything to do with my background. My approach to the markets has everything to do with my background. And for those of you not familiar, Bill O'Neill founded a system where stocks that are poised to greatly outperform the broader markets, he uncovered common characteristics among those stocks. So I utilize that process very heavily in my work at MEM Investment Research. So for those who would like more information, please go to my website, meminvestmentresearch.com. So let's get started with today's topic. We are going to be talking about stocks that are beginning to come into their own. And by that, I mean that they have not been major participants in this bear market recovery rally, but they appear at this juncture to be starting to pick up and could potentially be really quite interesting. So really, in essence, I'm going to be talking about stocks that break their downtrend reversal, and they do so by breaking above resistance. So I'm going to share with you what those barriers that do act as resistance, what you need to overcome. Also, there are characteristics that can give you confidence that that downtrend reversal is going to stick. And there is one fundamental event that can really help make the difference. So let's go ahead and get started. Considerations for a successful downtrend reversal. So that barrier that I did talk about, and the examples of course will bear this out, is those simple moving averages. They can often act as upside resistance. And then of course, once you break above those simple moving averages, they will act as support. Also, we are going to want to see high volume when that stock breaks back above that resistance, that simple moving average. That will provide you, in essence, with that confidence that the upside can continue. And then also downtrend reversals, if they occur following a strong earnings report, that will also give you that boost that will provide further potential upside. So let's go ahead and get started. I do also want to mention that the industry group that stock is a part of, if that group is in favor, that will also provide some nice tailwinds. So let's go ahead and get started. I always like to provide an example. This first one is Chipotle. This has been a big winner with my MEM Edge report. We were able to get into this stock when it broke its above that resistance and it reversed this downtrend. So what I'm referencing here is this period in April where Chipotle came out with very strong earnings. Their digital sales were 81%. They had grown 81%, revenues 1.4 billion. The company really was able to pivot in the beginning part of, this is their Q1 earnings with the pandemic. Their same store sales were up. So all of this was that boost that helped push the stock up above this blue 200-day simple moving average. That's going to be the area of resistance that I'm going to be sharing with you for each of these stocks. So you oftentimes this 200-day, when we have these severe breaks, will be your final area of potential resistance. So we can see the stock did break up above it. Take a look at the volume. I talked about that characteristics. It did so on earnings. And then also we had a positive RSI and MACD. These are your outside momentum indicators that were also signaling. And of course, we can see the stock from that point in time has had a significant price improvement. So let's take a look at some current examples that may well be on their way. This first one is PVH, and this particular company just released their earnings, and they did come out with very strong digital sales. That's a common theme that you're going to see. Also, I am identifying stocks that just reported their earnings either within the last week. So it is going to be skewed a bit toward retail because those are the ones, they are last to report their quarterly earnings. So this PVH would be in line. They own Tommy Hilfiger, among other retailers, and we can see that the stock's price broke back above that 200-day. This is that blue line. So it's broken back above that 200-day simple moving average just today. They did release their earnings back here on this gap up, and take a look at the volume characteristics upon that. We can see the RSI and the MACD is positive. And also what I did want to point out to you is the fact that the stock is breaking out of a nice lengthy base. This is a 4-month base breakout, which should also bode well for this particular stock. Let's move on to our next example. This is Urban Outfitters, again, another retailer. Take a look. They reported a little more than a week and a half ago. We can see this big gap up here, super positive. The street was very pleasantly surprised with their numbers. Their same store sales did fall because they do have a lot in the way of actual brick and mortar stores, but it fell significantly less than anticipated. One of their subsidiaries, Free People, actually saw an improvement in revenues. So we did get this nice gap up. Take a look at the volume. And the good news is that this stock subsequently has pulled back from this big gap up, not uncommon at all, but it is finding support at this upward trending green 10-day simple moving average. So quite constructive there. The stock is up today on a very negative day, but we can see the RSI and the MACD are both positive, and you are getting nice volume characteristics as this stock is potentially poised for to trade higher from here. Next up, we're looking at actually HPQ, and this particular stock also did report earnings. Take a look, nice gap up here out of this 2-week base breakout, and the company saw super strong PC sales, and it has everything to do with pandemic. Their revenues came in $1 billion higher than anticipated. And in addition, this stock is up 2.4% today. It was upgraded just today. So we can see the nice volume characteristics on this base breakout, and we're going to look for the stock to continue to find support at this upward trending 10-day simple moving average. Next up, another retailer, and some of you may remember this stock. It was a big winner back in the 90s, but this is Abercrombie and Fitch, and they have been trying ever so hard to come back into favor. But let's take a look back here historically during the beginning. This, of course, is right before that bear market, but you can see how this 200-day can historically act as upside resistance. But this week we are more certainly further advanced above that 200-day to give confidence. Take a look at this big gap up, also earnings related. Wall Street is talking about the company's very good inventory management as a positive, and then most of their stores are now open, but this is another area where digital sales played into their strong numbers. We can see that the stock did break up above this 200-day simple moving average. Take a look at the volume characteristics. Your up days are much higher than your pause or down days, which is very constructive. And now we're poised for this 10-day, your simple moving average, the green line, to break up above that 200-day, and that would be called a golden cross. It's a secondary bullish signal. And then we also have an RSI and a MACD that is positive. One last item that I was going to mark up, but I can certainly point it out to you, is the possibility that we are just now poised for a 4-month base breakout, which would be another bullish signal. Another stock here, and of course this is one that has not quite made it yet, but I did want to point it out because it is poised to break up above this 200-day simple moving average. Now, this particular move is not earnings related. The stock's up 3% on a not so great day, but it has everything to do with an analyst upgrade, and it actually, the stock is trading at 40. It does have a $54 price target. The stock was upgraded to an overweight, and we can see that this stock is also poised to break out of a nice multi-month base. Now, Airlines, I will say I'm not particularly bullish on the group. We certainly at the very least would need a vaccine or something of that nature to see a really significant uptick in traffic. However, among the airline stocks, Southwest is being touted as having the best in the way of capital structure, management team, and so forth. So it is viewed as a leadership name, certainly worth keeping on your radar for that potential break back above this 200-day simple moving average. Your RSI and your MACD are both positive. I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you next time.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're going to bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.